we back kicking game today, man. Well, insider knowledge thanks to Mikey Garcia. Some people already might know, but most boxing fans don't really know the inner workings of how fights are made and shit like that. And shout out to Fight Hype for getting those real raw interviews that you don't see anywhere else, and let fighters be themselves and let whoever they interview be themselves, and having articles to go along with them, and really being the first to get those real raw interviews, and then getting articles as well, and putting it all together with the rumor mills and the interviews and all the real raw shit, with letting people be themselves and speak their mind when you can't speak your mind on Fox and ESPN, and really helping break the mold for the YTBC and the mid-level media outlets, and becoming a major media outlet now for Fight Hype. I'm gonna leave the Mikey Garcia interview in the description link, Facebook and YouTube. If I just drop it on Facebook, I might not. This might just be a YouTube exclusive. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the boxing clinic, and Mikey Garcia kicked game on why a lot of major fights don't happen, or why they take a long time to happen. Robert Garcia, put his 2 cents in as well. He was a former world champion and has a lot of inner workings, in the sport of boxing. And basically, Mikey Garcia, didn't want to name names, but Robert, used Crawford as an example, but Garcia pretty much gave it away as well by mentioning him and Lomachenko, by saying, how fights work. Take you back, off topic real quick, that how people were saying Lucas was scared of Danny Garcia and all that shit, and how that was rolling, and how a lot of guys said, well, this guy ain't fighting this guy, he fighting a lot of mid-level guys and shit like that, for the simple fact that these networks give these promoters a certain budget, a certain money to dish out for their fights they put on their TV network or whatever. And for example, Mikey said that HBO might give you $2 million for a date that you got to work with. He said off the top, the promoter takes around $1 million. So the other $1 million, whatever they got left over, is split between the 2 main event fighters, or the TV event, or however it go. The main event fighters, I'm guessing, because I think the promoter pays the undercard out of his pocket. I'm just thinking about this most of the time, I think. Don't hold me on that concrete. So basically, the $1 million goes to the promoter off top. So they get $1 million, before a bell rings. They get $1 billion no matter what. And we know HBO get paid off the TV ratings and the subscriptions and all that other good stuff. They getting banked. So $2 million ain't really shit to them. That's the speeding ticket. So the promoter get $1 million off top. So he's a millionaire off the top. After taxes might not be so much, but then it goes down to the fighter. So Crawford might get $1 million, and then it might be $250,000 in for Felix Diaz. That's the example they use. Robert Garcia. Diaz got $250,000, $250K. Okay, if you know how boxing works, you gotta pay your promoter fees, license fees, whatever else in there. Pay your trainer, pay your strength and conditioning coach, and then they taking taxes. So at the end of the day, he might have took home 90 G's at the end of the day. So he got fucked, basically. Fighting on HBO, and he lost, so double whammy. 90K for him, he can ball. He can ball. Hopefully, he get another fight that he didn't take too much damage. Crawford might go home with $1 million, 1.5, somewhere like that, whatever left over. So he eats. So the budget is really dictating what type of fighter they're making. Anything over that, where both fighters want close to $1 million, or whatever it is, then they ship it to pay-per-view, because HBO is not dishing out that money, because especially if both of the fighters aren't well known, then they ain't dishing out that cash. If they both well known, like a Pacquiao Mayweather, it's going to pay-per-view is going to profit itself. As far as Postal and a Crawford, they know they wasn't going to do shit. They paid them $2 million. And they still barely get 1 million views. They didn't really rake in no money. So it's not going to turn a profit. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of fights that you guys do want to see, like, a Thurman and Earl Spence, that's the fight that they might dish that money out for. Al Hammond's going to find that money. He paid Garcia and Thurman, 2.5 apiece, I think. So they both 8, but he has the commercials, paying, paying, a little bit more to view their commercials on PBC, because they know that's going to hit. But fights that don't hit, like, Terrence Crawford, maybe versus Indigo, that's going to pay-per-view or stream in some other type of way. So, it depends. Basically they were saying it depends on what the network's dishing out, and that determines what, what type of opponents you get. And that's why you see guys don't fight a murderous role opponents anymore. Just another example of how the business side of boxing is really, dictating, who fights who and how it gets done and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, the dollar is tearing the sport up. The networks are dictating what goes out, because they're fronting the money for the main event. And that's why you see, the undercard is so shitty sometimes because the promoter, the manager, whoever the fuck it is, they coming out their pocket. So that's why they so frugal with the undercard usually. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, and you know, just some inner workings about how the sport works and how everything tick-tocks and clocks and works. And thanks Mikey Garcia for that 2-piece, you know, with Robert Garcia. Fire hype, we gone.